Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. And you probably were a little confused. Why is the Brown Gent talking about Costco and sort of things with gold? That's not something I typically talk about. Well, I've actually had a couple people bring this up to me over the last week, and there's like, hey, can I use your Costco membership to get some gold? And these are people who like literally never invest, never buy anything. And I figured, hey, you know what? Why not sort of make a video talking about if this is a good idea? Because apparently, like, there's a max, I think, of buying two gold bars from Costco right now, and they're flying off the shelves, and like, literally, like, there's so much demand, right? So, kind of the first thing I would say, and like, you can see this in the article, right? Precious metal is flying off the shelves. Looking at Costco, and I'm logged into my account, right? When I say my account, my parents pay for this account, so I just use it. Anyways, it's like 2,600 Canadian dollars for 1 ounce of gold. Now, to sort of like somebody who doesn't know any better, you all know that if you buy in bulk, which is what Costco does, we get sort of weekly rewards. Hey, get a Costco membership, sort of max out, buy the gold. In fact, right now it's out of stock. Can you believe that? This is what I mean when I went when I was gonna shoot the video a couple of days ago, but I was off. I was not home. There was some in stock, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, give me a membership. Let me buy some. Can I use your allocation?" And the people I talked to, I said, "That's a really stupid idea. Like, why would you want to buy gold? And do you know there's better ways to buy gold? Like, especially if you want to invest, right? Like, do you want the physical gold bars? Because you can buy gold on exchanges, right? Like, you can buy the precious metal from the bank. You can buy it from a ton of third-party retailers. Typically, the price will be somewhat similar to Costco, maybe a little higher, depending on what the third party is. But if you want to know if this is a worthwhile buy, let's take a look at the 2,600 Canadian, and let's sort of take a look at the current price of gold. So this is what they call the gold spot price, which is, whenever you look at a chart, what's the current price of gold at this moment, right? Like, it fluctuates, right? Just like so many other assets, it's traded. Gold is traded 24/7. So right now it's sitting at like 1823.20. And when it says bid, that means that's the highest someone's willing to pay for it as an order. And 1824.20 US, which is the lowest someone's willing to sell it for. So let's just assume that I really wanted to buy gold. Then I would pay 1824.2 for 1 ounce of gold. And that translates to around 2,500 Canadian. Wait a second, Costco, which is doing me a favor, is selling it for 2,600 bucks. You know what I mean? Like, it's $100 premium to get the gold bar. So, do you want the gold bar, or do you want gold? And like, when I talk to people, like, no, I just think gold is gonna go up. Gold's gonna go up, and this is sort of where I tell people, like, what makes you think that, right? Like, gold is a precious metal, and it has been used as a almost like a store of value, right? Gold is better in countries where you don't have a stable currency. If you have the US dollar, even the Canadian dollar, and some of the other currencies like the British pound, what's the relevance of buying gold? I get it if like you're in a hyperinflationary country where every single day there's so much money being printed that the value of your dollar is worth less. Like, I think Zimbabwe is a country, a town like Venezuela, where like this is where they need something else to sort of represent their money. They hold their purchasing power. But otherwise, you're literally paying a 4% premium just to have the extra gold bar in your hand, which actually makes it easier to lose, right? Like, when you have it on an exchange, it's much cheaper. Yes, you maybe pay like 0.5 or 1% fee, depending on your brokerage, but that's sort of where I would go. But even better is, why would you buy gold? There is a better version of gold out there, and we call it Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the digital gold, right? The reason gold is so valuable is because it's scarce. If gold was everywhere, gold would be worthless. And because of that, gold, since the olden times, actually what was used to create the banking system. I'm not going to go into all the details of that. Basically, people gave the bank gold, and in exchange, they got these like IOU, and those IOUs ended up being what we now use as dollar bills. They were supposed to be able to be traded in to the bank to receive that value in gold. And then there were so many like layers built on top of it, and because these are IOU receipts, so people didn't even end up sort of bringing it back to get their gold back. They were just trading the bills back and forth because that's what it is. And at this point, sort of our dollars aren't backed by gold, but that's sort of the fundamental banking system that exists. Well, if you do live in a country where you need that sort of stability, Bitcoin is a way better mechanism for multiple reasons. One, it's way easier to send, right? It's way easier to hold. It's way easier to transact. Yes, maybe it's a little slower because of the network and sort of how many transactions you complete. That's why things like Ethereum and all the other cryptos have been built. But literally, like gold is like that is like gonna be phased out. Yes, it will for some time. It will still hold value. But I don't understand why, if you have the option to buying gold and buying Bitcoin, that you would consider buying gold, especially. And by the way, let's just get this clear: if you're buying gold, buy gold. Like if you want to buy a gold bar, consider just buying like a gold watch or a gold necklace. Something that has utility as well. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting there with a brick, right? Like just, they're heavy. You have to put them in a safe or something like that. This you have some functional use as well as sort of just like a little malleable, but for the most part, you're not going to damage it. The value is going to be held there. But if you're just looking at it from an investment standpoint, can't do better than Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has shown over the last couple of years to be completely outpacing gold. In fact, the yellow line is the value of gold from 1970 to 1980. You can see Bitcoin just like the first 6 years, and like just take a look at this meteoric rise. And this doesn't even count like everything else that's been going on. Bitcoin is skyrocketing, right? This is Bitcoin at the price of like 7,000. Right now, we're sitting at like $27,000 US, right? And gold, on the other hand, like gold over here was like 500, now it's 1,800. But like it has been decreasing. If you take a look at sort of the gold price today, let's 60 days, 90 days. You can see here, over the last 30 days, gold has been dropping, right? 60 days, gold has been dropping. This like the gold trend here, 6 months, right? It's dropped from 2050 to almost 1,800. So if you do want gold, or like say you're like, hey, I don't believe in Bitcoin, I don't believe in cryptocurrency, then wait for gold price to retrace a little further. To find that out, you can actually look at this chart here, the 1 year gold. I would expect it to come down at least another $20-$30. There could be a resistance here at 1820, and then possibly another one at 1780, and below that at 1650. Those are potential buying opportunities if you want gold. And yeah, Chozo, I do think that Bitcoin will sort of surpass the value of gold in society, because gold is actually, we're at the point where you can manufacture it, I believe. I just think it's very expensive to do it. Very soon, the technology will get better to sort of to create it. I mean, will it be the gold that like the perfect gold that we know? Of course not, right? It's usually like an alloy type thing. But Bitcoin, a limited amount, and sort of everyone wants a piece. The institutions are getting into it. This is what, like, this is just a better version of gold, right? That's how I see it. Bitcoin is digital gold, right? Can you imagine having to carry around gold bars? Have you seen like the Italian job where like they have to transfer a bunch of trucks? Like in a few years, you'll be able to like just press a button and send that same amount of money like across like the continent, across the globe. Whereas here you need like 7 trucks, a bunch of armored guards. And the other thing is when you have a bunch of gold people, like it's easy to see. No one knows when you have a lot of Bitcoin. Unless you're sitting here sort of bragging about it on social media, showing off yourself, and no one knows, right? Otherwise, it's kind of like, okay, we can see that this was said here. That was sort of the agreement. And I think that makes it so simple, right? Just being able to like sort of send it back and forth, sell it, sure, no questions asked, and all that. You can swap it. Like imagine being able to swap it at a moment's notice. Because I love Bitcoin as well. I want Bitcoin. I want to sell some right away. I can sell some right now if I wanted to. I'm not going to, because I think it's a phenomenal deal right now. In fact, like so you see here, I still think we got a ton of growth in Bitcoin. And I know that was not the purpose of sort of debunking this whole thing, but I just think as well, like if you want to buy gold, buy it on a brokerage, and also sort of look for a good buying opportunity. Don't just buy it because Costco's like, oh, you got to max it too, right? In fact, there are some other places that will give you cheaper bars than Costco too. You know what I mean? But then, if you're kind of open to it, Bitcoin is probably the better avenue. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I want to sort of reiterate that. I'm just an idiot on YouTube. Any idiot can turn on a camera and talk to you. But at the end of the day, you've got to make a decision that works for you. I'm betting on Bitcoin because I believe in the future of sort of this decentralized finance. And I think that is sort of a huge step in the right direction. Bitcoin, on the other hand, like I've been telling you guys this for like June of summer. I don't expect Bitcoin to go up that much until it comes down to this 24,000, 23,000 level. Take out the liquidity here and then go up. I've been waiting for this to happen for so long. I thought we were so close maybe 3 weeks ago. And then we saw a rally. And this is exactly why I don't sell my Bitcoin. I just keep accumulating because I don't want to sort of try timing it when I know in my heart that it's going to go up. And I expect, like, my prediction for Bitcoin is that we see Bitcoin price go up significantly, probably like March, April of 2024 when it starts. And I think by the end of 2024, we will have hit the price target of probably 80 to 100,000 dollars. Obviously, don't quote me on that. That's sort of what I think. I would love to hear sort of your thoughts below. Are you still going to be like, hey, I listened to this video. I don't care. I'm going to go to Costco. I'm going to buy more gold bars. Or are you going to buy it somewhere else? Are you going to buy it on a brokerage? Or are you going to buy Bitcoin? Let me know. Would love to hear that. I sort of want to sort of change the kind of videos that I make talking about more relevant topics. Let me know if you like it. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.